She's the only player in the league that will say this shit. She's the only player in the league. Like, you won't hear Aja Wilson going out there. I am at the top of the scouting report. Ariel Atkins is at the top of the scouting report for your team. Camila Cardoso is at the top of the scouting report. Teams just box you out.
Angel Reese just handed the internet its favorite new punchline, and the timing couldn't be more ironic. In a post-game interview that quickly spiraled into a viral meme fest, Reese claimed that she's the top player on every WNBA scouting report. Not Caitlin Clark, not Aya Wilson, not Nafisa Collier. According to Angel, it's her, a player whose current shooting percentage inside 5 feet barely breaks 43%. The moment was equal parts bold and baffling, sparking a tidal wave of reactions from fans, analysts, and even a few silent eye rolls across the league. This video unpacks how one quote turned into a firestorm, how Angel's campaign for relevance has become a spectacle of its own, and what this says about the current state of the WNBA's most overhyped rivalry. Like, subscribe and comment. Baby goat over baby giraffe, if Caitlin Clark's play is doing all the talking while Angel Reese keeps grabbing the mic. This is one drama no one saw coming, but now no one can look away.
The reason why I feel like she isn't unfairly criticized is because I'm not gonna go into the bad guy, good guy. At the end of the day, Angel faces everywhere, right? And so when we talk about marketability and her inability to finish, her inability to do certain things, I think it goes to that. So I'm gonna keep it a band with you. I agree that if she gonna be the aggressor, then be the aggressor. At the same time, if you're gonna throw punches, you gotta take them. And so I felt like, to your point when you said, I bet she did. You can't see me because Caitlin did it. Right. Absolutely right. But now when you come in the league, right, and you fall in, you know what I'm saying? You got your 13 and 13, but now it's not translating to winning.
The quote wasn't subtle. Angel Reese, during a press scrum, claimed she's at the top of every scouting report in the WNBA. Within hours, it had spread like wildfire across social media, igniting instant backlash, mockery, and disbelief. It wasn't just the content of the statement, it was the conviction behind it. Reese spoke with the tone of a player dominating the stat sheet, not someone shooting under 30% from the field in key games. Fans quickly pointed to the absurdity of the claim, comparing her comments to players like Caitlin Clark, who consistently draws double teams, dictates entire defensive schemes, and backs it all up with record-breaking performances. In contrast, Reese's numbers have often reflected inconsistency rather than dominance. It wasn't just a bad take, it was a revealing one. A soundbite that exposed the growing gap between perception and production. But that was only the beginning. What came next added fuel to a fire that refuses to die down.
Angel Reese was someone who ever held her tongue and was someone who had been a no-comment machine in the past. Someone who wasn't so unapologetically Angel. All those things existed. People wouldn't look at her recent no comment and just say, you've always had a comment before.
Angel Reese's confidence isn't new, but this latest chapter feels more calculated than ever. Whether it's genuine belief or media maneuvering, the result is the same: headlines. Every outlandish claim, every exaggerated soundbite becomes instant content, keeping her name on timelines even when her performance doesn't. Some argue it's a form of genius, manufacturing relevance through controversy, but others see it as overcompensation.
Please tell me it's a fake quote. Please tell me this is a fake quote. Because this is something where it's like, everyone says, and it's like, oh, Angel's a developing player. It's like, oh, she's only in year 2. Why is everyone like going at Angel Reese and all this stuff? And, you know, oh, people can't stop talking about Angel Reese.
At LSU, that bold persona matched dominant stat lines. In the WNBA, it often reads like misplaced bravado, yet the media keeps biting. Every press conference turns into an opportunity for Reese to declare her importance, regardless of her actual impact. Even the silence, like her recent next question moment, carries weight because it contrasts with her usual non-stop commentary. Whether intentional or instinctive, this behavior keeps her in the spotlight. But being the loudest voice in the room only works if there's substance behind it. And right now, the numbers are painting a very different picture.
But I will say, Angel Reese, Ronnie and I have debated it on the program. Ronnie has been pretty clear that he thinks that she sucks at basketball. I have defended her as having dimensions of her game that are high level. I got to a point here a couple of weeks ago where I was starting to wonder if she actually sucks.
Confidence without consistency becomes a punchline, and Angel Reese is quickly learning that in real time. While her rebounding numbers remain respectable, her offensive efficiency tells a harsher story. Shooting just 43.8% inside 5 feet on nearly 300 attempts is a brutal indictment for a player built around physical dominance in the paint. In a recent game against the Indiana Fever, Reese finished with just 4 points on 28.6% shooting. And yet, her coach defended her performance, insisting she didn't struggle.
Wasn't any good. Yeah, that's basically what she said, is that her team wasn't any good. And it's rather amusing to listen to, but you know, if I didn't play it for you, you wouldn't believe it. But yeah, this is Angel Reese again, running her mouth and saying some stuff that you probably shouldn't say about your own team, but that's what she does.
That disconnect between perception and production is what keeps fueling the narrative. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here averaging double-doubles, burying logo threes, and breaking attendance records, all while staying focused on her game. She doesn't need to say she's the focus of scouting reports. Teams make that obvious by throwing every scheme imaginable at her. In contrast, Angel's box scores often feel like a quiet shrug.
Angel Reese, 447, let's get it! Unethical rebounding, bang! There's a league memo out that says nobody grab rebounds but Angel. 99% of the time, nobody even tries for them. But when they do, they always get the rebound over her because she's jumping with cement in her shoes. Bring back shame to stat padding rebounds. Where is it? No wonder she leads the league in rebounding. I mean, what is this? When it's not an uncontested defensive rebound, we're going for the me-bounds. How about it? Give me that.
The hype machine hasn't stopped, but it's getting harder to ignore the silence on the scoreboard. There was a time when the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark rivalry felt electric. LSU versus Iowa. Taunts, gestures, and primetime tension. But that heat hasn't translated to the pros. What's left now feels more like one-sided theater. While Clark lets her game do the talking, Reese keeps trying to co-author the storyline, even when the script doesn't fit. At nearly every media opportunity, Reese finds a way to insert herself into Clark-centric conversations, whether it's claiming co-credit for the rise in viewership or implying they share equal billing in league marketing. But viewers aren't buying it. Clark's every move changes defenses, fills arenas, and dominates broadcasts. Reese, meanwhile, stays in the news for what she says, not how she plays. It's like watching someone crash the stage after the show's already started, demanding to be part of the act.
Completely criticize Angel Reese because Tyler Marsh condones this. Tyler Marsh reinforces this. Tyler Marsh is this point forward Angel Reese. This is Tyler Marsh's deal. This is Tyler Marsh's gig. In order to get Camila Cardoso the ball, he needed to fix some things up, switch some things around. And in this most recent preseason game, a game in which Angel Reese had 3 rebounds, I'll take that every day of the week.
The rivalry isn't dead, but it's lopsided, and every new quote from Reese makes it clear who's chasing who. The idea that Angel Reese is the top priority on every WNBA scouting report has become the punchline of the summer. Analysts and fans alike have taken turns mocking the claim, with some joking that if she's being scouted, it's more for her post-whistle antics than her point production.
My gosh, is this for real? Is this really for real? But I'm going to show you this video because if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to absolutely fall out of your chair laughing. I know what I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this the curse of Dave Portnoy. Barstool Sports El Presidente. He went on a rant about that Ryan Clark stuff, and he said all he had to say about Angel Reese and Ryan Clark and that whole mess. And I will say this, his rant cursed Angel Reese because she proceeded to have the absolute worst game of her.
The reality is, most coaches aren't designing elaborate defensive schemes to stop a player who struggles to finish at the rim. If anything, the notes likely read, box her out, stay disciplined, watch for emotional outbursts. Her biggest weapon seems to be her medium magnetism, not her jumper. Meanwhile, players like Caitlin Clark are forcing entire coaching staffs to scrap defensive game plans mid-game. Angel's recent performances rarely require that kind of attention. But this false perception isn't just funny, it's strategic. The more Reese convinces the public that she's the main event, the longer she extends her relevance. Even if teams aren't doubling her on the floor, the media's doubling down on her every word. There's a growing theory that Angel Reese may not be chasing stardom, she's embracing the villain role. And in some ways, it's brilliant. Sports history is full of players who leaned into the chaos, turned booze into branding, and thrived off controversy. Reese might be walking that same path, whether deliberately or not. Every viral quote, every post-game snub, every clipped interview keeps her at the center of WNBA conversations, even when her stat lines suggest she should be in the background. While Caitlin Clark builds her legacy through record-breaking performances and game-winning plays, Angel keeps her name in headlines by being the league's most quotable lightning rod. This isn't just a player, it's a persona. But the question remains, can the theatrics sustain her career if the production doesn't catch up? Right now, it's working, but the clock is ticking. Eventually, fans want more than drama. They want greatness. And if Reese can't deliver it on the court, the booze might drown out the buzz.
Chemistry question. What happens when iron barely gets scraped? It goes bang! In the name of the brick, the Barbie, and the holy me-bound, can we get a pray-up? How about it? Bang! Chuck and duck. Aim for the bushes. Bang! WNBA fireworks. Happy 4th of July. Bang! Make sure you lather up with sunscreen and butter this weekend. Butter. Butter pecan. Bang! Nobody, and I mean nobody, hip fires better from inside the paint, through defenders, gets their own rebounds, and puts it back in. One last me-bound for the boys, and we all can go have a nice long weekend. How about it? Come on, 5, do it for us. Let us feel alive.
Caitlin Clark is playing a different game entirely. While Reese talks, Clark delivers. Logo threes, no-look passes, calm leadership in high-pressure moments. She's rewriting what a rookie can be. And she does it all without self-promotion. No claims, no campaigns, just numbers and wins. That silence is deafening. Meanwhile, Angel Reese stays loud. Her strategy resembles charades more than chess. Big gestures, dramatic expressions, all in hopes the crowd understands a message. I matter too. But the WNBA has already made its pick.
Stay consistent as possible. Obviously, I struggled in the first couple of games, and just staying poised, trusting my work. I have great people in my corner. I never really questioned my ability of what I can do. Obviously, you go up and down through your career, and thinking in the beginning it's going to be my sophomore slump, but I got out of it in my first couple of games, and I'm here and helping the team win as much as I can. That's the most important thing to me.
Clark headlines primetime games and sponsors campaigns. Reese's games, when not wrapped in controversy, often slide under the radar. The marketing engine has chosen its star, and while Reese tries to force co-billing, the reality is clear. One player is altering how the league is played and perceived. The other is still trying to convince the crowd she belongs in the frame. And the more Angel tries to grab that spotlight, the more obvious it becomes who's really holding it.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
Yeah. We'll move on.
Angel Reese is a very good player, but she's ugly to watch. Have you watched her play? She's a typical WNBA. She's great on the offensive glass, rebounding, but watching her play, terrible layups. The reason people are captivated by Clark is the way she plays, like Steph Curry. And the thing that I don't like people making it race. I don't think it's in the league that's race. It's jealousy that she's so popular. But there's lots of major white female WNBA megastars that nobody cared about.
This isn't just a story of two rookies. It's a case study in how the spotlight works and how it doesn't. Angel Reese believes she's part of the reason women's basketball is thriving, and in some ways, that's true. Her presence generates debate, reaction, and friction, elements the media craves.
It's time to put the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese conversation behind us. Caitlin Clark is unanimously our Rookie of the Year, and eventually she'll be the best player in the WNBA. And Angel Reese? Well, she's in the WNBA. Angel Reese is shooting 43.8% from inside 5 feet this year on 274 attempts. Now, let's think about some things that are more likely to happen than Angel Reese making a shot from inside 5 feet. Shaquille O'Neal making a free throw. Diana Taurasi hitting a three. Patrick Mahomes going to the Super Bowl. We can argue this until we're blue in the face, but numbers...
But friction isn't fuel unless it sparks something greater. Reese's performances haven't lived up to her press tours. She's out here campaigning like a co-lead in a movie she hasn't starred in. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark shows up with historic numbers and leaves without a word because her play did all the talking. While Angel demands attention, Caitlin commands it. While Angel counts headlines, Caitlyn racks up wins. The league has responded accordingly, handing Clark the marquee while
But when it
slotting
comes to
Reese
pure
into
gravitational
supporting
pull,
drama.
Right here, man, release talking about Chicago Sky coach sends strong Angel Reese message after loss to Indiana Fever, right? So let's read what it says here. Chicago's loss to the Fever forced them to 2-5 on the season. They were finally gaining traction, winning back-to-back games against the Dallas Wings before they faced off against the Fever. After the loss to Indiana, Chicago Sky head coach Tyler Marsh responded to a question on Angel Reese's struggles, finishing the game against the Fever with 4 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Marsh mentioned that he doesn't believe Reese struggled to make an impact against the Fever despite shooting 28.6% from the...
The truth is harsh, but unavoidable. Impact isn't self-declared, it's earned. And Reese may soon learn that attention alone doesn't guarantee staying power. Greatness doesn't knock twice. It shows up and takes over. Angel Reese may be loud, controversial, and endlessly memeable, but the scoreboard, the ratings, and the fans are following Caitlyn Clark. That's not shade, that's reality. And the more Reese tries to force a rivalry, the clearer it becomes that this isn't a battle. It's a broadcast, and Clark is the reason the cameras are rolling. Like, subscribe and comment. Baby goat over baby giraffe if Caitlyn's greatness speaks louder than Angel's hype. Turn on all notifications so you never miss a moment of this WNBA drama. Click the video on the screen to keep the story going, because this league just keeps delivering.